I grew up going to the movie theaters. It has a very special place in my heart. It's where I watched a bunch of animated movies during the summer because they had kid discounts on the tickets. It's where my dad and I would go every single Christmas to watch the Santa Claus movies, even though we don't celebrate Christmas. It's where I watched every single Twilight movie. It's where I first committed a crime by sneaking into a PG-13 and rated R movie while not being the appropriate age. I even started going to the movies alone when I just need to get away from everything. Although, the one time I do regret going alone was watching Avengers Endgame at 7 frickin' a.m. Yeah, I feel like I definitely did not enjoy that experience as much as I should have had I gone a decent human hour. But along with the good memories, bad ones were made as well, and I'm here to talk about a couple of my worst movie theater experiences. But before we get started with this video, I'd like to thank Wondershare Filmora for sponsoring this video. I get a lot of questions about my video making process, and one of those steps is post-video editing, where I add all the sound effects, background music, and extra effects. And Filmora X is a super easy way to do just that. I'm going to show you some of the things that I use. I'll drag and drop the final video into the editing track, trim out any unnecessary silences or unnecessary frames. I'll add some zooms to make some frames a bit more dramatic, adjust the volume because I'm loud. And the best part is that you can use Filmora's preset medias and let your imagination go wild and be a pro editor yourself. And Wondershare Filmora is coming out with some new AI-powered features this month like AR stickers, or my favorite, the portrait add-on module, where I add an effect to one of my frames and it'll automatically add the effect to the drawn person and not the entire frame. Makes for a creepy cult effect in this frame right here. And the best part is, you can try Filmora yourself for free. Just click the download link in the description below and you can try it out yourself. Although the free trial will have a watermark, but if you comment under this video, I want to try Filmora to make, and tell me what you want to start creating, I'll randomly select 3 lucky winners who will get their own free Filmora licenses. And yeah, what are you waiting for? Try it out for free. And thank you once again, Filmora, for sponsoring this video. Hey guys, it's Chilly! Experience 1. Terrified. I was in New York the weekend of the Joker release, and I don't know if you guys remember or even read the news, but security was increased a lot in the theaters that weekend. There were people making threats that they were going to recreate some of the scenes in the movie in the theaters, so people were kind of scared. Me and Den included, but we went anyways opening night with her 2 sisters. The theater we went to had a lot of security. They were actually checking bags and coat pockets, so no chance of sneaking in any snacks, unfortunately. And they were checking IDs. But for some reason, even though it's a rated R movie, you had to be at least 21 to get in, not 18. Which was a slight problem because one of Den's sisters wasn't 21 at the time. So she ended up pretending not to have her ID, and since the rest of us were over 21, they just assumed she was around the same age, so they let us through. We buy our snacks, go to the auditorium, take our seats, and wait for previews. All was quiet, everyone was just waiting for the movie to start, until a group of guys who were sitting a couple rows ahead of us began laughing. Manically. Not even in a, oh, this guy just told a funny joke, or even a, oh my god, I just really can't stop laughing. No. It was scary, scary laughter. But we didn't really think much of it because the previews had barely started, so whatever. But then the movie starts, and they still kept randomly laughing, and that's when everyone around us became visibly concerned. And this was New York, so you would think someone would have shushed them or said something, but no. Literally everyone was quiet. I don't know if everyone had the same idea as us, or maybe because it was New York, nobody really cared, but I didn't say anything. I didn't want to possibly be on the end of something not pleasant. So everyone in the theater just stayed quiet as these guys manically laughed throughout the entire movie, and they weren't even laughing at like funny bits. It was literally just random. Even though they were rudely interrupting the entire movie, thankfully, laughter is where it ended. We all kind of enjoyed the movie and all went home safe and sound, but that immersion or whatever it is they were trying to do, that wasn't fun. Experience number 2, paying $20 just to watch 5 minutes of a movie. I've only ever experienced food poisoning once in my life, and it was not a fun time. My mom had reheated some bad leftovers for my brother and I, and a couple hours later, my dad came home from work and he walked in on us all practically dying in different bathrooms. Yeah, that probably wasn't a pretty sight to walk in on, but I was pretty young when that happened and I don't really remember the suffering that day. But life had me covered because X amount of years later, I suffered the same fate thanks to my good friend Den. That's right, I'm about to expose what she did to me. Although one could argue this was completely my doing, but I digress. I was visiting New York one time and me and Tabs were visiting Den. Me and Tabs were pretty hungry and Den immediately starts raving about this ramen spot by her place. And don't let her tell you otherwise. She was raving. So we trusted it and we agreed to go. We were starving and you can never go wrong with ramen. We each get a bowl. I opted to get a veggie ramen bowl, which, okay, fine, was probably my fault, but that's what I wanted at the time. And the food was okay. I definitely had better ramen, but my stomach was satisfied. So Den treated us to some mochi for dessert and we were all happy. Then we decided to go watch a movie. I remember it was Venom. What I don't remember is any of the movie except for the 5 minutes I was actually in the auditorium for. 2 minutes into the movie, my stomach was rumbling. I had to get up. And we had people sitting next to us and I felt really bad, but my stomach wasn't gonna let me sit another second. I ran to the bathroom and yeah, I threw up. I felt a tad bit better, but not really. Went back to the auditorium, made the people get up again, and sat back down in my seat. 5 minutes later, that feeling comes back. I'm so sorry. I ran back to the bathroom, and I come back again. And again, not even 5 minutes later, I had to get up again. But this time, it was so much worse. I ran. I bolted. I didn't even wait for the people to get up. I literally jumped over them and bolted to the bathroom. And you can fill in the blanks however you want. But that's when I realized I had mild food poisoning. I didn't get back to the auditorium until there was 10 minutes left of the movie. And at that point, I completely gave up on going back to my seat. I just slumped in one of the empty front ones and I was so miserable. That was not a fun time. And then after the movie, so Den's husband George was with us and he inquired about the dinner we had. Den took us to that ramen place by her apartment. Wait, why? Why would you ever take them to that place? It's not good. Thankfully, it was mild food poisoning, so I felt better after a day. But what a waste of money that was on the movie and the dinner. And I never bothered rewatching Venom after that, so. But yeah, fun times. Is there a moral to this story? Don't get vegetarian ramen, and yeah, there's really no moral here. Just enjoy my misery, I guess. Do you guys have any similar bad experiences, whether it's at a movie theater or even somewhere else? Tell me about it. Let me laugh at your misery as well. But I will see you guys next time. Bye!